Alright, this video is going to be about the input system. So GAM objects also inherit from inputables. Inputables are here. What inputables have are two maps of registration data. So they have one for the presses they are registered for, and one for the releases they are registered for. So when you submit for registration, you find if it's a press, you find in the press data map if this has already been registered. If it's not, you insert it. And if it's in the release, you find that. And then you make sure that this hasn't already been registered, that this inputable hasn't already been registered for this key press or this key release. And you submit the command up to the scene broker. So like everything else, it goes through the broker. So you have these commands, the registration and deregistration commands. The commands hold pointers to the inputable, the key that you want and the event type that you want, so that when you execute them, you have all the information and you can register or deregister this key. So the scene has a keyboard event manager. So when you register an inputable, which is right here, where'd it go? Am I blind? Oh, right here. It goes to the keyboard event manager, which is up here. So what does the register look like? Okay, basically the keyboard event manager has a map that maps Azul keys to a single key event manager. So this keyboard event manager has all these different mini event managers that all deal with one single key. So when you register this, hey, I need this inputable to be notified when a key is pressed, the keyboard event manager sees if there's already a single key manager for that key. If there's not, it makes a new one. And then it says, for that single key event manager, I need to register this inputable with this event type. So once you go down to the single key event manager, it has what am I looking for? It has a list of inputables. Right here, the inputable collection. So when you register, you see if this is a key press or a key release, and then you insert it into either the press collection or the release collection. That's what I was looking for. There are two. There's the list of inputables that are for the press for this key, and the list of inputables that are for the release for this key. So you see which one you want it to be in, and then you insert it into that list, and then you pass back the delete ref for fast delete later. So in the deregister, you can just erase with that reference, getting that reference from the inputable. Okay, so you finally have this key, you finally have this inputable registered to this single key event manager for the right press or release. How does it actually work? In the scene, in the update, you call keyboard event manager process key events. So if you go to the keyboard event manager, process key events, you basically loop through, starting at the beginning of your map of single key event managers, you loop through every single one of your single key managers, and call process key event on all of that. So you're looking through every single key that anything has registered for, has a manager, and you're going to loop through every single one of those. So when you go to single key event manager process key event, this is the function that actually checks the shenanigans of, was this key down last frame, is it up this frame, therefore down and then up means a release, up and then down means a press. So it's keeping track of the previous frame state and updating that as necessary. So this is where all that's happening. If you do detect a press or a release, then you distribute the press call or distribute the release call. So the press call, you literally just loop through all the inputables that have registered into your press collection, and you call key pressed. Same thing for the release call. You loop through all of the inputtables that I've registered to the single key release collection, and then you call key released on them. So every single game object that has asked to be notified when this key is pressed or this key is released, those methods will be called. Phew, okay. So, see this in action. I actually just have a test scene, a little mini test scene, as opposed to my game. But we have key pressed and key released. So the frigate registers for the T key, T press, and T release. Then you actually implement the function. So if the key pressed is T, you print this. If the key released is T, you release this. I also have the world plane, which registers for all these different things. Basically, when you press the D key, you deregister from the T press, and if you press the R key, you re-register for it. So, putting all that into action, if I run this guy, so in the console down here, if you can see it, if I press T, both the frigate and the world plane print that. If I release, they both care about it because they both registered for it. If I press D, then the world plane no longer cares about the T press event. So if I press T again, only the frigate gets notified, but when I release, they still both get notified. And I think if I press R, I re-register, so now they're both registered again. 2 presses, 2 releases. Yeah, I think that just about covers the input system.